Instagram family. I hope that everybody is having an amazing Tuesday. Today, Natalie and I are hopping back on as a continuation from yesterday. And of course, as we mentioned yesterday, Natalie is hosting the Red Bag Workshop um, December 4th and 5th. And the Red Bag Workshop is designed for anybody, anybody that feels like you're standing, in between the space where, oh, you feel called higher, like it's time, but you just need to bridge the gap between those two places. Natalie is hopping on with us now, and where's she at? Oh, there she is. Hello.
Hey, hey.
Hi. So I was, of course, saying hello to everybody, and then just reminding them of the Red Bag Workshop and how the Red Bag Workshop is literally, open to anybody that's standing in the
Mhm.
space between, faith and fear, honestly, faith and fear. And I'm excited about this conversation because, of course, it's a continuation of yesterday, but so many of us have been at a point in our lives where we feel stuck and we just don't necessarily know like how to take the next best step. So thank you everybody for tuning in. For those that
Yeah.
were not able to hop on yesterday, my name is Dominique. This is Natalie. Natalie is the founder of Integrity Without Compromise. She also is the founder of the Red Bag Workshop. And Natalie is all about, seeing individuals win, seeing individuals step into their greatest potential and becoming
Mhm.
all the things that they are capable of becoming and becoming all the things that you didn't even know you were capable of becoming. And so Natalie is a really good friend of mine. She actually is my previous track and field coach. And I am a walking testimony that, she's the best coach in the world. And she truly has like this special gift to identify things you don't even know you have. And like she ignites it and brings it to the forefront. And I ain't telling y'all what I read in a book, I'm telling you what I experienced. So I'm
Mm.
honored to sit on, alongside of you, Natalie. And I'm grateful that we have a new
Mhm.
day to hop on another live and continue to unpack, these gems that you bring to us every day.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for bringing up the Red Bag Workshop. I appreciate that because we are exactly a month away today.
Yes.
And so, for those of you that don't know, December 4th and 5th will be the Red Bag Workshop. And if you want to know more about that, of course, you can put Red Bag in the comments and we will get that information over to you. Or you can go directly to nataliesmithwells.com/ red bag and fill out your information and we'll get you some stuff there as well. But we're really excited about that. Dominique, thank you for being willing to jump back on today. Yesterday when we got together and we jumped on here impromptu because we were having a conversation yesterday about double causing you trouble. And of course, yesterday we talked a little bit about walking on water and the story of Peter walking on water. And Jesus asked him the question. He was like, "Oh, ye of little faith, why did you doubt?" And where that double comes from is that word doubt in that particular place actually means double. Where did you split your decision? Where did you look one way with faith and another way in fear? And so, as we kind of talked about that yesterday, it just was on my heart. Like, let's look at some of the other ways that we can be in a place of double and doubles causing us trouble. So, what came to mind today, and for some of you, it probably came to your mind yesterday about that whole statement of being double minded. And what double minded means, it means that you have double souls. You have two ways of thinking. And in today's time, anybody that you're dealing with that you don't know where they stand or that instability that they have, it'll make you kind of draw back from them because you're like, I don't know what I'm going to get today because one day it's this and one day it's that. And so in the Bible, in the book of James, actually in chapter 1, James is actually talking to the early Jewish Christians, and the reason why he even brings this up is because they were being persecuted. They had so much loss. They were in financial situations, and the times at that time was very uncertain. And
Mm-hmm.
I felt like today it was good to talk about that because we know all too well in the time and space that we live in right now, that's exactly what people are experiencing. They're experiencing uncertainty. They're experiencing real life trials, financial losses, injustice, uncertainty. Well, this was the feeling of what was happening when James wrote this to them and when he's talking to them, and he was giving them strategy. He was giving them a plan. And he's saying, okay, I understand where you are, but what he says is you need wisdom. And he
Mm-hmm.
says, and if anybody is lacking wisdom, and if that's you today, or if you're looking back at this later, he says, if anybody is lacking, not knowing what to do next, how to handle this, where do I go from here? He says, ask God. And he said, ask him because he will give it to you liberally. He'll give wisdom to you fully. He won't hold wisdom back and he won't rebuke you for asking, which is so powerful. And I want to encourage somebody right now today because many of us don't ask because we don't think we deserve an answer. Many of us don't ask because we feel like we're too far away. But James is saying, no, despite what you are experiencing and despite what you have been through and what you are going through, he's saying, ask for it. And where this double is causing you trouble is because he goes further, Dominique, and he says, don't be in a space with your mind like the waves that are tossed to and fro. And I want us to think about that picture to where, kind of like with Peter, you're going back and forth in your mind. And that is the state of a lot of people right now. He's saying, I want you to ask God, but do it in faith. And I heard you say earlier the difference between the faith and the fear. He said, I want you to ask in faith, and I want your foundation to be sure. And we said this earlier on Facebook because sometimes you can feel like you're in quicksand. You can
Yeah.
feel like your foundation is not sure. And we want to encourage somebody today to come out of that wave thinking. Don't let your mind be double minded, tossed to and fro. Why? Because there's an instability. And I want us to think about this. With waves, waves are unpredictable.
Mm-hmm.
They are so unpredictable. They move and you weren't even ready for it yet. You didn't even know. Also, waves are directionless. You may think the wave is going one way and it ends up tossing you a whole nother way. And if you've ever been out in the water fighting the waves, you also know that it can exhaust you. So he's saying, don't be double minded, don't be directionless, don't be unpredictable, and don't be exhausted. I got to say that again. Don't be directionless, don't be exhausted, and don't be unpredictable. And he's trying to encourage them in this. But for many of us, as we said yesterday, but double is causing us trouble. And I
Mm-hmm.
know that that can be easier said than done because you're like, oh, you don't understand what I'm going through. I may not understand directly what you're going through, but all of us in some form or fashion, it may not be in the same box as yours, it may not be in the same room as yours or the position as yours, but every one of us has something that will try to toss us. But we wanted to get on here to encourage you to remain in faith and get out of the waves of indecision, get out of the waves of doubt, get out of the waves of being tossed to and fro, and to not be in a space to where double is causing you trouble.
That's so good. That's
Mhm.
like so good. And I mean, I resonate with
Mm,
that wholeheartedly. And I know that so many people on here resonate with that as well. So not
mm,
only are you a dynamic speaker and not only have you been doing this for a long time, now you're hosting these workshops, specifically
yeah.
the bag workshop. So what you're sharing with us right now, do not be double and do
Mhm.
not be easily swayed by the waves. Can you kind of explain how the red bag workshop bridges the gap between being in the waves, feeling exhausted, and like
Mhm.
getting out of that? How is the Redback Workshop going to bridge the gap between those two places?
Yeah. The goal is to solidify foundation. And all of us know anything that you want to build on, if that foundation is not solid and not strong, and it tells us that too, you're going to find yourself in a place where the house will be destroyed. The
Mm,
house will begin to sink. So no matter what you're building, You can be building a relationship right now. You could be building a business right now. You could be building your family, your ministry, all of those things. But if the foundation is not solid, believe me, you will be tossed. Because our foundation is the thing that brings us back to a level of being on a surface that is steady. Even if I ain't put one brick up yet, I know what I'm standing on is secure. Thank you. And so that should be exciting for people to know. So with the workshop, what we're going to do is really find what I like to call that red thread. That line, we're going to draw a line in the sand. And I'm going to move from fear into faith. I'm going to move from doing things in my own natural flesh, and I'm going to move into doing things by the Spirit. I'm going to move into away from this indecision and doubt, and I'm going to move into a true level of trust. So that's what this time together is about. But if you don't know what's foundationally in your red bag, you won't move. If you don't know foundationally what it is that you're standing on, you won't take the step because we'll keep that doubt in front of us. And all of us have been there to where it's like, I believe it, but man, it's not going to work. I want to step out there. I believe this is what I need to do, but what if it fails? Well, what if it does?
Right.
But also, what if it doesn't?
Right.
What if it
Yeah.
don't fail? And so
Mhm.
we're going to look at some scary things. We're going to look at two big scary things that I did this year, and I'm going to challenge people to do some stuff scared. We're going to look
Mhm.
at what brings you to life, what brings you energy, what drains you, because we have to pay attention to that. A lot of people right now, I know because I did it for a long time, we were putting all of our energy into something that drained us, that took from us, and it never gave back to us. So we're going to start to identify those things. And we're also going to do a case study during that time. I'm going to use someone that has been through the actual tools that are in my red bag, and they're going to share their journey of where they started and where they are now just because they started to unpack their red bag.
Mhm. Man, I'm excited. I'm so excited. And honestly, I mean, I know that, everything is God's timing, but
Mm-hmm.
I wish that I would have had, this workshop 2 years ago. I wish that
Mm-hmm.
even 10 years ago, I wish I would have had this
Yes.
workshop, but specifically 2 years ago, I wish I would have had this workshop. Cause just like Peter, I'm like, I'm there, and I definitely have strong faith. But I could have personally used this type of space,
Mm-hmm.
this sacred, intimate, and setting to like really unpack my red bag. Cause honestly, I didn't even know I had a red bag. We all have
And we
one. I
do.
didn't
We
even
all have
know.
them. We all have one.
Yeah. So can you just speak to that just briefly? How those that are listening to us use the analogy about the red bag, what's in it? Can you just confirm that we all have a red bag and
Yeah.
what that actually symbolizes?
Yeah. And a lot of it I will share in the workshop because a lot of it is very personal to me. I recognized my red bag when I was 9 years old. It's really been that long, but it took me decades, literally decades, to actually start using the tools that were in it and taking that bag with me everywhere that I went. And
Mm,
so that I'm going to share some of those things in the actual workshop. But I will say, this, as you stated, everyone has one. And the thing about it is we're responsible for it.
mm-hmm.
And I don't want to make this live too deep or get anybody to a certain space, but I have to be who I am. The thing is, the investment that has been made into each one of us, at some point, we're going to have to answer for that investment. Oh, it does. Anyone, even in a natural sense, that gives you something and they're giving it to you for you to go double it, or they're giving it to you to go triple it, or they just want to go see that you have a good investment and they get something back on their return. That investor is not going to be pleased with you if you come back and say either I lost everything or I'm only bringing back what you gave me. They're not going to tend to want to give to you again. They're not going to tend to want to give to you more. So that's just in a natural sense. But you and I, everybody that sees this, there is something that has been invested in you, and we're calling it your red bag. You know what's in that bag, And we want to help you investigate what's in that bag and pull some of those tools out so that you can start to operate and use those tools. Because remember, a tree is known by its fruit. That's
Hmm.
how you know what type of tree it is. And many of us are standing fruitless simply because we won't take the step.
Wow.
And,
Wow.
and, and, it ain't, and it's not even meant for you to eat off the tree. It's meant for others to be able to eat off the tree. Who around you is starving because your fruit not showing? Who around you is not being nourished, is not being fed, is not going to the next level, doesn't have the support that they need? Who around you is suffering because you won't give up your fruit?
Mm.
And we are known by our fruit. And so, if we're looking at this analogy right now, and you're walking up to me and I'm walking up to you, and I like all that green in your background. I got a little fake green right here. But
Hmm.
but the key is we've got to know what type of fruit this person is producing.
Wow.
And that's why we started this week about this double. If you're double, they're never gonna know. You don't walk up to an orange tree and it be oranges and apples on it.
Right.
And you know all too well being in Costa Rica, you over there picking up all the mangoes and stuff off of there. The tree is not mingled. The tree is not mixed. The tree is not unstable. The tree is not in an uncertainty and not knowing what's supposed to come from out of those leaves. That's what this red bag workshop is going to do. We want to identify, let us raise up this leaf and see what type of fruit you got.
Mm.
And now it's time for that fruit to begin to take real form so others can partake.
Mm. When is this workshop?
I know. So, and what we may do, Dominique, we'll take a look tomorrow. We may try to see if we can jump on StreamYard tomorrow and pull through Instagram, if we can get that to work. That way, we'll be able to pull up the actual landing page for the workshop. But if you want to go to nataliesmithwells.com and just put /red bag, you can do that. And once you go there, you'll be able to give us your information, and it will send you to all the information to be able to join, or for you just to get on our list for anything that we're doing in the future. We are going to keep this group to a very intimate number, because I want to really spend time with some people.
Mhm.
So we will keep it at a very intimate number, but we are less than a month away, and we're looking forward to it. We're already praying for those that will join.
Wow, yes. And I already know there's going to be so much breakthrough. And the analogy that you use, like what type of fruit are we bearing? And
Mm,
when you just said what you said about who around you is starving
mm.
because you're or malnourished because you're not taking that step, I felt that in my soul.
Woo.
I felt that in my soul. And you're right. Like we've all been invested into, and we do have to answer to that. So I'm totally looking
Mhm,
forward to the workshop. And I thank you for your yes as well,
mhm,
because like the way that you're able to educate and even, be a vessel for the word, and the way that you're able to just relay in such a beautiful way is a gift. And I'm so thankful to be in community. I'm thankful that I've been able to also eat from your tree. And
oh, thank
actually,
you.
yes, and literally be nourished in the way that I really, and be full. So
Mhm,
you are literally not just hosting this workshop, but I have to say you are living, walking, speaking everything that you're teaching. And that's what I'm most excited about for what's happening in this workshop and what's coming for 2026,
mhm,
because you're a teacher that has been literally living it, and like, practicing what you preach is that saying that they I think that, yeah, practice what you preach. So
mhm,
yeah, and I can honestly say I've been able to like consume from your fruit tree and be full.
mhm.
And so I thank you for allowing yourself to continue to do this work and to say
Thank
yes,
you.
to host workshops, and to really allow us to identify our red bag and what we
Yes.
do. And I'm grateful that we'll be able to, because I know so many of us do sit in a space still of faith, hesitation, faith, and fear. And I just know for without a shadow of a doubt that once this workshop, those that are coming into the workshops in that same space, I know for sure the
Mhm.
transformation is going to be beyond what we can explain. And I'm excited about the case study as well, because
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Me too. I'm really ready for that part because the case study person is a unicorn, and so they're a unicorn. And the thing about it is, I think when people get to experience the case study during the workshop, it's going to have them really looking at themselves and asking themselves questions and being able to reflect back and remember some decisions they made that they were like, man, if I would have known that. But this is the thing. I'm ready to stop saying if I would have known, you know now. And that's our thing. Like we know it now. Even bringing up coaching and stuff. I've been out of coaching as far as athletics for almost 10 years. I can't even believe it's been that long because I'm so passionate about the sport. But it's been almost 10 years since I left coaching. And that's where I was. I was like, gosh, why didn't what I learned in 2022, why didn't I know that back then? I could have been a much more effective person, a much more effective coach. But the key is, I know it now. And because I know it now, there's another level of coaching that I'm having to step into, even though I still have that drive as an athletic coach in me, that I want to see people win. And I shared this earlier with you, Dominique, on Facebook, and it's continuing to register with me. So thank you for asking me this question earlier on Facebook of, when did you know that you wanted to see other people win? And it was when I was in situations where I won too, but I was more excited about the next person. That's when I realized it, like I may have had a great day. I was a part of the state championship track team. I was a part of the state championship basketball team, been to nationals and different things of that nature. But I realized I would be tired after the trip because I've been yelling for everybody. And so excited and going to all their events to where my coach is looking like, you need to go warm up. Well, oh girl, about to throw this javelin. And, last week we were, so that was always in me, even from a young age. And I'll tell you about that story actually, I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to tell you this little story if you got time. So some of you know my grandmother was a major part of my upbringing, and I know you understand like the relationship, especially and let's be real, especially for a Black woman, and to have your grandmother's grace, her touch upon your life is very special to us because of what they experienced. My grandmother was born in 1919, so the fact that I got the opportunity to be with her for the first 10 years of my life was powerful. But one of the things, and Dominique, this is going to be the answer. This is what you asked me on Facebook earlier, but this is the answer. I now know it. When I was about 4 or 5, I don't remember. I know I was young, but it was T-ball time. You're playing T-ball. And my grandmother did not go to places like that, but she had me, so I was going to play T-ball. And I'll never forget, she took me to the park, and she would sit in the car, and she wouldn't get out. She would not get out. Well, it was time for us to go outfield, and I was playing third base, and the other team was batting. Well, one of the people on the other team hit the ball, and the ball is going, and I am cheering. You got it. They started running. Now, mind you, we're on opposite teams. They started running, coming around second base, coming around the third base. I got the ball, and I'm doing like this, telling her, "Go, you got it, go." My grandmother would never get out of the car. Like, remember, this is an older woman, 1919, raised 12 kids. She ain't got time for this grandkid that's crazy. She gets out of the car, comes to the fence, and is calling me over there saying, "Get over here now." And I didn't know why I was in trouble. And she was like, "What are you doing?" And I remember this so vividly. She was like, "You're supposed to get them out." And I was like, "But she did so good." And then the next time, the same type of deal. It was me cheering, and then I'm over there turning cartwheels. I mean, not even. Now, mind you, it's 4 and 5. Of course, as I got older, I would have tripped that girl down. But anyway, but I realized at a very young age, I always wanted to see people do well. And I still feel that way. There is no envy, no jealousy, no, I wish it were me. Like, do it.
Yeah.
And so Do it, and do it even if you're scared. So
Yes.
that's gonna be the point, because I remember that, and there's a reason why, the Lord allowed that memory to stay with me. That she was like, "You go out to figure out. You could cheer, but you could cheer after it's over, and after you win, then you can go tell her good job." Because my grandma was not a sports person, but that day she knew real quick. You better figure it out. You don't be letting people go through that for free.
I so love that.
Yeah.
I love your memories. I love when you story tell. And I
Yeah.
always love visualizing your mama, your grandma.
Yes.
Like,
Yep.
so
I
thank you
called
for
her
sharing
mama.
that. Yep.
Yep.
And I think that's such a gift. Like, that's a
Mm-hmm.
gift to genuinely want to see other people win, because we don't
Mm-hmm.
have that naturally. People don't
No.
naturally have
Mm-mm.
that. So for you to be walking in that from the age of 4, like
Yeah.
to be able to identify that moment and your red bag moment, and like
Read
to
that
be able
mama.
to like carry that even into today is so amazing to me.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that is
So
so
that's what we
cool.
want. That's what we want. So this week we're going to encourage people to come out of that dual thinking, come out of that fear, take a step. And maybe that small step is just joining us in that conference or in that workshop. But if not, at least make a decision this week that I'm going to start trusting this and I'm going to go for it.
Hmm. Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think that's like a beautiful space to leave off on,
Yeah.
to make a decision, to
Hmm.
trust, to make a decision and to trust it. And something that I know will come in the near future, but I always love how you talk about just being able to hear clearly, the difference between just making a decision, and so I
Hmm.
think it's a beautiful space to leave our phone, because once we of course make that choice and we have that faith, like everything aligns.
Hmm.
It just everything literally aligns, even if it doesn't technically align, because we have faith that everything that we're experiencing, everything that's going to present itself is for our growth, our development,
Yeah.
is for the glory of God, no
Yeah.
matter what it is.
Hmm.
And so, yeah, do it, and do it scared, and make a
And do it
decision,
scared. Yeah.
and do it
Make a
scared.
decision. Yeah. Yeah. Make a decision and just do it scared.
You make it sound so easy and simple.
But it's not. Like, that's the thing. We know that it's not. But the thing is, what is the purpose of this life?
I know.
You know what I mean? If we're gonna do this, I might as well,
Yeah.
because like I said earlier, and we can leave it here, we will answer for this life.
Yeah.
And so I'm praying that there's some type of fruit. And I
Mm.
want to help other people develop theirs.
And you the best one to do it. I'm telling you that.
All right, let's go.
We
Let's
doing
go.
it. We doing it
We're
scared.
doing it.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
Yeah, this is wonderful. You're wonderful. And I'm excited about the Red Bag Workshop. Again, everybody, it's December 4th and 5th.
Hmm.
It's virtual. It's a virtual experience. Visit nataliesmithwells.com / red bag to go ahead and enroll and register. If you have any questions between now and then, send a DM to either Natalie or myself. I can support. And yeah, we hope to see you in the workshop.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you, and we'll see them tomorrow.
Yeah. We'll see you tomorrow.
Okay. All
All
right.
right. All right.
Bye.
Bye.